Hey everyone. So, one of my viewers asked about Chronicle Battles, what they are, and yeah, this video is dedicated to all of you guys who are interested in what features are coming up on our global server. This is obviously the Japanese server. I started my Japanese FFBE account a couple of days ago. Don't get confused by the rank 100. The Story Digest actually makes you go to level 1 or rank 100 once you complete the first round of Story Digest missions. It's crazy. As you can see, I have 8.3k energy left, and yeah, I've slacked a little bit on a JP server. I am gonna be honest. I haven't really done much of the story yet, but I'm getting to it. The global server right now, it's just energy dumping into the Easter stuff. So I do have more time for the Japanese server with Final Fantasy VII Remake going on right now. The super strong base Tifa and super cool Aerith, Descendant of Cetra Aerith. I like both units very much, and I'm gonna pull on Tifa soon once I reach 30k, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, what are Chronicle Battles? Chronicle Battles is the next feature we are going to get, and they will replace the current Brave Insignia battles that we have, right? So you remember all of these here. For example, the Ferris stuff, where you just punch the boss, and you're good to go. That is already on the global server, right? And what's coming with Final Fantasy 15 are these so-called Chronicle Battles. As you can see, the Japanese server has a few more of those. We've got Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is another one. I haven't checked actually for what that is. And Final Fantasy 11, which is the latest one that we've gotten. Curiously enough, there is no for Final Fantasy 7, I believe. Nope, there is not. Which is surprising, or is it up here? Oh, it is up here. Final Fantasy VII also has one Chronicle Battle. I should do this because we're getting some sweet equipment stuff. I already started doing this. Funny. But anyway, there's a lot of things to do for me. But I prepared one thing for you. So this is how this is looking like. What I really appreciate is that we can actually see how many insignias we have. So there's two types of insignias. The ones that you guys already know, it's the unit Brave insignias. I got 2,747 for Noctis and Arden, and I believe Luna Freya as well. They share the same type, it appears like. And you need them for the units on their own, of course, but you also need these insignias for the weapons. The second type of insignia is tied to the specific fight. So as you can see here on the Ifrit stuff, we are getting for 5 turns. This one reads Ifrit fight, Ifrit battle, or Ifrit war if you want to be specific. Ifrit fight, insignia cross X500. And this is the more rare type of insignia. Don't get confused by the amount I have. It is all from the rewards. So I got 700 over here. I'm getting 500 more from that one. Level 7 also had a few. As you can see, these are the special type of insignias, and they are entirely tied to the fights themselves. So I haven't done the Leviathan fight just yet, which is for Luna Freya's super awesome staff. I don't have Luna Freya yet on a Japanese server. I'm hoping to get her someday. But as she's an evoker and I just started out, I have literally 0 evocation gear other than Ferris STMR and TMR. So getting Luna Freya just now won't do much for me, other than having a super strong mage anyway. But yeah, I also don't have Crown Prince Noctis, because Crown Prince Noctis on a Japanese server is a Fanfester unit, and Fanfester units are not in the UOC pool, which feels bad, and I think it's a huge upside on the global server that we can just UOC any 7-star or 5-star unit, I should say. The Japanese server doesn't get the luxury. Right, this is structured towards a couple of fights. I'm currently at 9. I have a video prepared where I tackle the level 8 fight. And yeah, the first couple of ones, they have different tasks, right? So one of the tasks is nobody dies within 3 turns, etc., etc. And I believe it was 6 or 5 where it started asking you to do this in a specific turn amount. Yes, for example, on number 4 I failed 2 missions even, but it's fine. So starting from level 5, you need to kill the boss within 3 turns to get the 700 insignias, the brave insignias. And this keeps going on for the remainder of the challenges. The boss itself isn't really that hard, as you might imagine, and as you're going to see, I'm clearing all 8 stages with a team that has almost no equipment. It's just as beginner friendly as it gets. I'm using a strong friend unit all the time that carries me throughout these fights, and that's pretty much it. So don't get scared by the difficulty level of 300 or 350. As long as you have a strong friend unit, you're gonna be fine. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the Chronicle Battles. And now you will see how the fight works, what you can expect of the fight, how to upgrade your weapons if you have them, obviously, because if you don't have the weapon, that's too bad. Oh, and by the way, I should mention, you are getting the recipes for the weapons or equipment slots. For example, this is Aranea's hat. You're getting these recipes as rewards for just clearing the fight. So here we have Aranea's head +3, and I believe on 7, yeah, on 7 you're getting Crown Prince Noctis STMR upgrade +3 at the end of it as well. Now, what do these weapons do once you upgrade them? And for that, or that topic is a whole nother level. No, let me start over. I'm just gonna make a quick cut just to show you off the current Noctis STMR on the global server. And then I'm gonna show you within the same video or part of the video what the upgrades are, because I cannot check this on the JP server. I don't have the base weapon. Yeah, clicking on this doesn't do anything. So I have to prepare this in advance, and we'll see each other in just a second once I made a small cut. Okay, so we are back on the global server, and let's check out Noctis STMR, which we can upgrade. Let's equip this to this Esther, for example. Ultima Blade, there we go. So currently the weapon has these stats: 175 attack, 100 magic, and it has the Founder's Bond ability tied to it. So that's all we know. It increases LB damage by 50%. So far, so good. Now, as you've just seen, there is 3 upgrades in total, or even 4, I believe. Yeah. So the upgrades are as followed. The first upgrade makes this weapon go to 186 attack. Nothing changes. Still, it is already quite good. Upgrade number 2 then puts this weapon up to 198 attack. Still no new passives, but the upgrade number 3 already makes this a little bit better. So upgrade number 3 is then 214 attack, still 100 MP by the way, but it also adds 2 new passives. One, the level 1 ability of the passive is that it increases damage dealt by jump attacks by 25%, and it also increases static attack by 150. and both these passives only apply to Neovision Noctis and Neovision Arden. And the final upgrade for this very weapon makes this a 234, so 234, nice Gumi, or alum I should say. Attack weapon, still 100 additional MP, but the passives, they increase too. So the 50% LB damage for everyone, they remain the same, but the aforementioned additional passives for Neovision Noctis and Neovision Arden, they increase to level 2, and now the jump damage is at 50%, and the static attack that both gain is at 350. This is actually absurd, this is super huge, and this is the reason why Noctis and Arden eventually hit a lot harder than, say, Edgar. When I did my Neovision Outlook, I stated that Neovision Noctis and Arden were on par in damage compared to Edgar. That is only true if you're not using Ultima Weapon. If you start using Ultima Weapon, Noctis and Arden jump ahead in damage, quite literally, pun intended by the way, in damage significantly over, say, Edgar. One of the reasons is not only the super high attack that these guys can reach. I mean, if you're wearing 2 of the weapon, you gain the passive twice, meaning you have 700 increased static attack. This is ridiculous. I know, static attack, it's just flat attack on top, it doesn't scale with your passives or anything, but still, if units already gain 5k attack, you gotta have to pile on the 700. So 6k attack with these weapons, that's not a rarity anymore, it is an actual possibility, especially if you get them to EX plus 3, for example. And go for the full EP with GF extension and whatnot, but you get the point, right? At 6k attack, these guys gonna hit super hard. And especially with the other passive, the jump damage passive, equipping Neovision Noctis and Neovision Arden for jump damage is going to be super easy. They have a lot of passive jump damage already. Their Super Trustmaster also adds on jump damage. The weapon adds jump damage. It's just crazy how fast and how easily both guys can reach 800 jump damage passives while also maintaining 300 killers, by the way. And you might actually even reach 300 LB damage on top of everything while keeping very close tabs on the 6k attack mark. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, this is why we're gonna see a huge power spike when it comes to Dragoons. Not in total damage output, nobody's gonna eclipse Terra or Ferris for a while until we get Luna Freya, who's just absurd amounts of power level. But when it comes to physical damage dealers, with the proper equipment and especially a proper time investment in these weapons, you're gonna see a huge spike in damage done once more. But keep in mind, Noctis and Arden are Dragoons, they have the same issue Edgar has, and that is they have one dead turn when they jump, so you gotta wait one turn to land them. That's the downside of things, but we're getting units such as Neovision Base Zidane, who doesn't have that downside. He just deals damage like a madman, especially with 2 of his STMRs equipped. It's reaching absurd amount of damage, and some people may not like this. When the game is going, it's just higher numbers upon higher numbers upon higher numbers. But for me, this is also kind of one of the incentives I like. I personally like units that do something else rather than damage. Now, Noctis and Arden, they have the upside of bringing Sword Imperils. They have some other nice perks to them, while Zidane, he's just doing damage. He has a crazy good Super Trustmaster. We'll get to that once we do the review on him, or like a preview of Zidane. But also Luna Freya. I mean, I'm a huge Final Fantasy 15 simp, and you guys know that I'm gonna pull super hard on Noctis and Luna Freya. By the way, for Luna Freya, I'm going to pity no matter how many Luna Freyas I pull. I want her at EXP plus 3 because she's one of the few units that I'm gonna use for a long time. Probably for as long as I used Terra so far, and I've been using Terra for 4 months already, I believe. And Luna Freya has the same in her as well. She's just that good. And nobody's coming close to Luna Freya in damage. Not even the latest iteration of Tifa, Neo Vision based Tifa, when just compared to damage, even with killers adjusted towards evocation damage, even that new Tifa isn't coming close to Luna Freya in terms of damage output. But yeah, so this is what you can expect from the Ultima Blade once it's fully upgraded. I also included this on the right hand side, so you get the full picture of what's coming towards you if you do want to invest all the time and especially all the energy that is required for this. And by the way, a huge shout out to Sinsar at this point. He told me what to expect and how this works too, so he gave me a few nits and nods, a few hints at what to look at. So thank you very much for that if you're watching. I appreciate your help. But yeah, let's take a look at how the fights look, what you can expect, and how upgrading your weapons work. So back to the Japanese server it is. Alright, we're doing the level 8 fight now. So let's check out if we can do this. I had trouble doing this, but it's the highest one if I'm not mistaken. Oh, by the way, I love the music. It's so good. Alright, so Aerith is going to buff stuff, increase stats, and start doing some damage. Oh yeah, Ferris can go immediately with a triple chain. Let's have... I think his name is Royal Puppeteer, but his actual Japanese name reads something like Empty Hand. So, because the first kanji over here is Mu, the second is Te, and usually the first kanji is used for free or nothing, and the second is for hand. So free hand or no or empty handed pretty much. So I don't know why he's called Royal, but oh well. Let's do breaks and some better attack. Let's have Luna shift, and she is going to use which one is the good power up? This one, that I believe this was, oh, that's just that one. This is Water Imperil, but I believe yeah, this is a Water Imperil as well. Okay, and let's use light elements, so we do have some chaining, cloud, the usual. And what I really like about the Japanese servers, this works on the Ant app, and this is it's a native app for the Japanese version of the game, meaning they have integrated button presses. So chaining is super easy on the Japanese server. I can just spam the buttons and it's just going off as it should be, which is very cool. Alright, and next turn we're gonna cap with Luna Freya. Yeah, hit Luna Freya, she doesn't care. So let's have Aerith, the Neo Vision base Aerith, by the way, descendant of Cetra, I believe. Cetra, no, yeah, descendant of Cetra. Ferris does her group. Well, technically I should go for group 4 as Aerith is also group 4. Let's use group 4 over here as well. And let's have Luna cap this one. And let's go. There we go. So yeah, that's why I like Luna Freya. She is just pure awesome. And as you can see, we got 2 types of insignias. The one you know already. It's the usual insignia that is used for leveling up the units. And the other one is the newer type. It's a specific insignia from the boss that drops, which is used to upgrade your weapons or other means of equipment. So we got a total of 700 over here. And that is the reason why the first upgrade of a weapon to the maximum level is faster. Just because you get 700. And as you can see, I only got 2 of these insignias. So it is very expensive. You get the base porgs or the base unit insignias a lot. This is 44, and the more Final Fantasy 15 units you have, the more insignias drop. Now we only had 1 with Luna Freya, but imagine using Near Vision Noctis, Near Vision Arden. Multiple of them would be even better. Or in general, Final Fantasy 15 units, you're gonna get a lot of these insignias. But the important ones are this one, the Ifrit fight insignia, and that is the important one and the most, and the one that you want the most. So let's send R2 a friend request, hoping that he... Oh, it's not even the final stage. But as you can see, here's Aranea's pendant plus 3 upgrade. You get another 500 of these Ifrit insignias, 2k of the usual ones. Yeah, as you can see, this is crazy to say the least. And let me show you how this works. So if you did the if you did the last round of the Final Fantasy V enhancement equipment stuff, right, where we got Gilgamesh's spear, it is working very similar to that, right? So on the global server, we had to use insignias, brave insignias, to upgrade the Gilgamesh weapon. And the way this works for the Chronicle Battles is exactly the same. So here we've got the Aranea's pendant stuff. It's her, not pendant, but the helmet, I should say. And yeah, this one already costs 1,000 brave insignias to upgrade. As you can see, you gain some bonus stats. Let's do that to see the next upgrade that we get. So it's upgraded now, and as you can see, we already don't have enough. So it's 2,500 for the first 2 ones. And for the third upgrade, you're gonna have to pay the top end tier insignias, which are way more rare. And as you've seen, I only got 2 for stage 8, and I'm probably gonna get like 3 to 5, I would presume, for the next one. I'll just clear the next stage, number 9, show you the end results so that you can see how much we're gonna get. But keep in mind, this is the JP server. On the global server, we might actually get a little bit more, because the, like I said earlier, the farming requirement, the time investment you're gonna have to put into this, it's insane. It's literally insane. To upgrade one weapon fully, you're gonna spend roughly 1.5k energy. And that is the first one. The same applies to the next weapon. However, the investment is going to get even larger, because you don't get the immense amount of Ifrit insignia anymore. So the only reason why the first weapon is actually that dirty cheap is because you're getting the insignias from Ifrit for free. And in huge quantities as well. So we've got 500 over here, we've got another 500 over here, or 700 in total. So that's already 1.2k. For the 700, for the 7 thingy, you get another 200. I believe for 6, it's 100 as well. And you're missing out on that amount. And I guess you get the point that this is a huge investment. Not only energy, but also your time in real life. You're gonna spend roughly 4 hours to upgrade the weapon once. And you're gonna spend a lot more time to upgrade it a second time. I mean, this whole farming event gets significantly quicker the more Final Fantasy 15 units you have. Or the same applies if you're using, or if you're going for the Final Fantasy 9 equipment stuff, right? So Rakish Thief Zidane, you can use his STMR twice. It also gets upgrades, but you're gonna have to do this just like with Final Fantasy 15. It also applies to the boots, by the way. But again, it's a huge time sink, it's a huge energy sink. Do as best as you can, and the more units of the series you have, meaning Final Fantasy IX for this, or Final Fantasy 15 for Noctis' weapon, or Luna Freya's weapon, you can also upgrade Luna Freya's weapon, as you can see here. Same applies to that, or the STMR of Noctis. That one applies here too. Again, super costly, super time intensive. Is that a word even? I don't know. But yeah, these are the Chronicle Battles. The Chronicle Battles, like I said earlier, they replace the usual Brave Insignia farm. These challenges, they are gone. I don't even think they are on the JP. Oh, they are still on the JP server, as you can see. Most of them. I should farm for Ferris Brave Insignias though. It's until May 1st, so more than enough time. But yeah, say goodbye to these challenges. They are going to stop, and starting with Final Fantasy 15, we will see these Chronicle Battles, and as you can see, they are also called Chronicle Battles. This one states over here, it's in katakana, kuro ni kuru batoru. It states so, Chronicle Battles. And these fights are usually pretty easy. It's just the stats that go up. It's 350 difficulty, but the boss doesn't really do much. And if you have a strong team, this should be easy. I used a friend unit that was super strong just now, and that one made me clear it. But if you don't have a strong friend, it's going to be a lot harder. As you can see, the gear on my units, it's laughable. I don't even have much equipped. It was all Luna Freya who carried me through this. So don't stress out about this. These challenges, while they seem very hard to do, they are not. Just make sure you have a friend unit that is properly geared, at best a finisher, and you're good to go. I mean, I just cleared the level 8 stage without even my units dying, and I don't have good units. So, yeah. These are the Chronicle Battles. I have mixed feelings about them, to be quite honest. I mean, they handle a lot of lapis, that's for sure. But yeah, depending on how Gumi approaches these battles, it's going to be very tedious. But on the flip side, Chronicle Battles, like I said, they are permanent features. So the Final Fantasy 15 banner, it's been around for a long time now. Almost 2 months, I believe, and they're not going away. So you can take this on at your own pace, at your own leisure. And in most cases, especially for the case of Noctis STMR, this is Crown Prince Noctis STMR, by the way. I would have loved to get this on the JP server, but Crown Prince Noctis on the JP server is a Fest unit, and Fest units are not in the UOC pool, which is that is actually one thing I prefer on the global server in comparison to the JP server. On the global server, we can just UOC Crown Prince Noctis and we're good to go. But on the JP server, if you didn't pull on the Fest unit, you are screwed entirely. I cannot get Crown Prince Noctis, so I did all of these challenges for nothing, literally. And I probably should have done the Luna Freya stuff, but it's just, I'm just doing this for the lapis mainly. I do want to pull for the new Tifa, Neo Vision based Tifa. I need 15k more lapis. I'm gonna get this sometime during the weekend, and then I'm gonna show you the pull video for that as well. And regarding the pull video, the JP server, just this is not actual part of this video, but the JP server has a pretty sweet banner structure now, as you can see. We're pulling 5k for 2, get 1 for free, another 5k pulls. You're getting 100 of her shards by doing all of this. You get 2 guaranteed Neo Vision crystals with, I believe, 5 or 10% on banner. So, oh yeah, it's 5% on banner, so 5% chance of Tifa in that Neo Vision crystal and 10% chance of Tifa in the final step. So that is pretty sweet. and I hope that we get this structure for step-ups as well on the global server. It's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. And especially the 100 charts, it's awesome. I like this concept. I mean, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30k lapis for a full step up with 2 guaranteed neo visions along the way and super high chances for the desired unit on top of the 100 shards. I think it's good. And I really hope this makes it to the global server as well. Okay, but this concludes the Chronicle Battles video. Like I said, I have mixed feelings about this. I'm personally looking forward to the Chronicle Battles, just because I think they are really well done and they provide a little bit more depth to the game other than the brainless pork farming that we have right now. But let's just really hope they don't make us suffer through 4 hours of farming these events. That'd be bad. That'd be really bad. But we're gonna see how Gumi tackles this. After all, the global server is a different game, quote unquote. So we'll see. But I'm still kind of looking forward to this, especially because I like Final Fantasy 15. I like the Crown Prince Noctis STMR. We'll see. Thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful and cleared up a lot of questions and confusion about the Chronicle battles that are about to come in 3 weeks. And we'll see each other tomorrow for the next video. Bye bye.